All right, everybody, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive today?
Ready when you are.
Awesome. So today we're going to talk about lasers.
Lasers.
Yeah, in dentistry.
Hmm.
Now, I know what you're thinking.
Science fiction.
Yeah, exactly right. Like, is this Star Wars or something?
Right, right.
But I swear this is like a real thing, and it's becoming like more and more common these days.
Yeah, it really is.
So,
It's pretty exciting.
yeah, so let's break it down. Like, what are we talking about when we say dental lasers?
Well, what's really interesting about them is they're not just like a flashy
Right.
replacement, like, oh, we're going to get rid of the old drill and bring in this fancy laser. It's actually a completely different technology,
Mm,
and they work by emitting a really highly focused beam of light energy.
okay.
And that allows dentists to target very specific tissues,
Mm,
whether that's hard enamel or the soft gum tissue,
wow.
with minimal impact on the surrounding areas.
So it's like instead of having this drill that's like blasting away at your tooth and like vibrates and creates heat and all that, it's just like this really focused beam of
As
light.
it's all about precision.
Oh, wow.
So you can imagine that probably makes a huge difference in patient comfort,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
That's got to be so much more comfortable than having a drill in your mouth.
absolutely. So yeah, that's one of the big benefits. Less vibration, less heat, less damage to the surrounding tissue.
Hmm.
So that means less pain during the procedure, faster healing afterwards,
Wow.
and often you can skip the anesthesia altogether.
Now that's huge.
Right. Especially for people who get nervous about going to the dentist. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a game changer.
Absolutely. So we've looked at some sources for this deep dive,
Yeah.
and they mentioned a bunch of different things that lasers are being used for in dentistry, like cavity removal,
Of course.
gum disease treatment,
Mm.
teeth whitening.
Uh-huh.
So it really does seem like they're pretty versatile. Like, what can't they do at this point? Yeah. Well, I mean, it is still early stages, right? But it is very promising technology. But yeah, I mean, like cavity removal, for instance.
Right.
The lasers now, they can remove decay without needing a drill in a lot of cases,
No way.
which is pretty amazing when you think about it. So the laser actually vaporizes the decayed portion of the tooth
Oh, wow.
very precisely,
Hmm.
leaving behind the healthy structure. So smaller fillings and less sensitivity later on.
Wow. Okay, so I got to ask, because that sounds almost too good to be true.
Sure.
One of the things that we read about was how lasers can lead to better sterilization.
Yeah.
So how does that work? Like, how do lasers stack up against the traditional methods that dentists have been using for years and years?
So lasers actually have an inherent sterilizing effect.
Huh.
The high energy of that light beam, it kills bacteria in the treatment area.
No kidding.
So it reduces the risk of infection and promotes faster healing.
Hmm.
And, if you compare that to traditional methods where they rely a lot on chemical disinfectants,
Right.
it's a big advantage. Wow. So it's not just about the precision and being less invasive. It's also like actually helping to prevent infection.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
It's a win-win-win for the patient.
Yeah. All right. So I have to ask, though, are there any downsides to this?
Mm.
Like, are there any reasons why maybe you wouldn't want to use a laser for every procedure?
Well, I mean, of course, every technology has its limitations.
Right.
I mean, they might not be suitable for every single type of procedure.
Sure.
And, some treatments might still require the traditional methods.
Yeah.
And another thing to consider is that the initial investment in this laser technology
Yeah.
can be pretty expensive for dental practices,
Right.
which could potentially impact the cost of treatment for the patient.
That makes sense.
But I mean, overall, the advancements in laser dentistry were pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
And, there's ongoing research that's just constantly pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
So fascinating.
Yeah, it's a really exciting field.
So I think a lot of people listening are probably wondering, okay, so what does this mean for me? Like, if I'm going to the dentist,
Right.
do I need to, like, demand that they use lasers for everything?
Well, not necessarily. I
Ah.
think the best thing to do is just to have a conversation with your dentist about what the best treatment options are for your specific needs.
Hmm.
But I think just knowing that this technology exists and what it's capable of
Yeah.
can really help you ask the right questions and make more informed decisions about your oral health.
Right. So the big takeaway here is that lasers in dentistry,
Mm-hmm.
they're not just some futuristic thing.
Right.
They're here now, and they offer some real tangible benefits.
Absolutely. Increased comfort, More precision, better sterilization, faster healing.
And who knows what they'll come up with next, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
As technology continues to advance, I think we can expect even more innovative applications for lasers in dentistry.
Well, it definitely sounds like the future of dental care is looking brighter and maybe a little less scary. What do you think?
I think so.
I mean, would you agree that knowing about laser dentistry now changes how you think about going to the dentist?
It definitely makes me less apprehensive.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's something for everybody out there to think about. And hey, maybe it might make that next trip to the dentist just a little bit less daunting.
Maybe even something to look forward to.
All right, that's it for this deep dive. We'll catch you all next time.
See you then.